Talk about some Smash Forward action. We're going to be opening up tonight's Shockwave with these two players.
Ooh.
Mikeey versus FXDFW Sethlon.
So,
and you know, we know Sethlon for being a resident Roy master. You know, he's been playing Roy,
but
for so long. But today we're going to be seeing that Cloud. I'm excited. You called it. Tonight's looking pretty overcast, and Sethlon being the kind of player that he is, I think can really go a long way with a character like this.
Cloudy with a chance of bacon today. He is taking on Mr. Game & Watch.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No meatballs necessary. But here we go. It's going to be Mikeey versus Sethlon. And Game & Watch is a character we don't really see too often. I think that Game & Watch is one of the lightest characters in the entirety of the cast.
Number 2 or 3.
Yeah, just underneath Jigglypuff and Mewtwo, if I remember correctly. So that might present some problems, given the fact that Sethlon, playing a character who hits as hard as Cloud, could probably get some early knockouts. But so far, most of the aggression has been coming from Mikeey.
Oh, okay.
Finishing touch,
So,
but a touch too low on the percentage. But otherwise, that would have been a great KO option.
Speaking of percentage, Sethlon adding on an incredible 1% as finishing touch does. Absolutely fantastic job. Probably great DI from Mikeey, although obviously we can't see his controller. We don't know for sure. But he's actually looking pretty solid here. He's running just about even, although with that 1, he's going to take an extra 20%.
And keep in mind, though, you know, we've had Cloud for less than 24 hours now, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so because of that, people aren't too aware of what those exact kill percents are. For Sethlon, he's going to be doing as much learning as we are in this set. Great down air, and it's going to be enough to pop Mikeey up and send him soaring out of the stratosphere. Down 1 stock already, but we've seen him connect a lot of attacks and catch Sethlon off guard. So I wouldn't be surprised if he can maybe close things out pretty quickly, but whoa.
43% already. Sethlon, monster.
Man, he's just so solid whenever it comes to getting those hits, man. So solid at getting those slashes.
So down there, maybe not the best choice out of there. He's looking for maybe a jab and a dash attack. That is something that is okay for Game & Watch. Not the best, but it can add on a decent amount of percent, maybe knock them back to give yourself a little breathing room. Sethlon doing a good job of keeping him off stage and not quite hitting him with the limit break attack just yet.
I think this can be pretty tough for Game & Watch. Game & Watch does have a slight disjoints on some of his hitboxes, but overall he has to get relatively close, and I think that he's getting outranged pretty consistently by Sethlon, which explains why he's going to be getting 2-stocked by that up here.
Yeah, obviously everybody's always thinking when Game & Watch is down a stock, comeback's never impossible. We'll just hit a 9 hammer. You know, it's so easy, you think. But not always going to happen. But solid stuff, actually, from Mikeey in that first stock, running just about even with Sethlon. Of course, Sethlon nuts on that second stock.
He's really good at keeping someone out. He gets in close and he can just keep them out. He just puts in work whenever it comes to characters with disjoints. And I think that one thing that we need to see from Mikeey is figuring out a way to kind of close the gap. Cloud, again, doesn't have the fastest options, really. You know, the one thing that Sethlon really does have is that jab as well as the nair. So if Mikeey can maybe find ways around that, then he can have a much better game number 2.
Yeah, so we're going into game 2 here. Mikeey counterpicking the Dreamland. So far, it's working out for him all right. But I really don't agree with this counterpick for one chief reason, which is that right now Cloud can kill Game & Watch because Dreamland's ceiling is so low.
Yeah,
Ooh!
In the Magic 8, and stuff him out a bit with that bacon. One big thing about that is that it kind of forced Sethlon to not use his limit break in an offensive manner, but rather in a defensive manner to just get back onto the stage.
Yeah, it's of course one of Cloud's kind of disadvantageous. Going golfing there for a second just to get him off the top. Of course, it is a little bit disadvantageous that he can't, you know, maybe save the limit break for something later and be like, I can recover this with a regular up B. But you have to use it.
You just have to, you know, if you're going to be charging it up. And that's the one thing, right? It's how you can kind of counter that limit breaker is by basically putting your opponent off stage. You force him to burn that resource really early.
Oh, the pineapple.
Heartbreaker from Mikeey there. And you called it. He started off really strong. He started off pretty strong in both games. But he finds himself in situations where Sethlon, because he's playing a character like Cloud, is able to end those stocks so soon. And then whenever it goes into the second stock, we see Mikeey really struggle at getting those initial hits, getting those openings that we really saw from him at the beginnings of games 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And, so it's a little unfortunate for him, but I'm sure he'll be back ready to go ahead and learn things from this set and apply them to the next one.